Today, two topics. First of all, November 16, Andrew Fonfara versus Tommy Karpency for IBL title. I'm not going to ask you how important this fight is because it's a title fight, but in the development of Andrew Fonfara, how do you see this fight?
Well, first of all, I just want to say that every fight's important. If it's not a title fight, or if it is a title fight, but of course this one's the most important right now. This is a stepping stone for Fonfara to show the world that he is the real deal and he's ready to become a world champion. And this guy is in our way. We're moving forward. We're not looking we're not looking far in advance from him, but we want to take this fight serious, and we want to show the world that we're ready to be in that position.
A Glenn Johnson fight put Andrew on a boxing map. Let's be honest, he was a good fighter, well known, but we are talking about Chicago. Now, after the Glenn Johnson, and I know this is one of the reasons why you guys decided to take the fight. And you become maybe not sensation, but the fighter you have to be aware of. How much it changed Andrew after the fight, after the Glenn Johnson fight?
I think Andrew winning this fight, when you beat a guy like Glenn Johnson, automatically it makes you a better fighter. The experience you can't buy. You have to be in there and do it. And when you beat a guy like Glenn Johnson, you start believing in yourself. And once you start believing in yourself, you automatically become a good fighter. And it showed that night that everything fell in place. Our game plan was just on the money, and he's maturing to be, the fighter I want him to be. Because in that fight, he kept his cool. He showed a little bit of everything. He showed that he's got a good chin because he got clocked a couple of good times.
He did.
He showed patience. When he had him going, he showed patience. He didn't rush into nothing. He showed that he can go the distance. He showed his conditioning. So it was all around great fight for us. It showed me that Andrews is the real deal.
Those are the fights that define the fighters, no question about it. But the toughest part sometimes is to move from there even to the higher level. Now you coming into the equation as a trainer to not, for Andrew not to have some kind of letdown saying, oh, I just beat after the very, very good fight. Let's add it. Glenn Johnson, you're not afraid of it. Not now. Not with Andrew.
There's always fighters out there that could be greater than you are, greater than a Glenn Johnson, greater than Bernard Hopkins. We have to be prepared for whatever's in front of us and keep believing that you could do it, that you're capable of beating these guys, and you have to work hard for every fight, not just the Glenn Johnson fight. Now the fights start getting harder and harder as we go, because people see that he's come here to fight, so they're preparing better than they would have.
People were skeptical about Andrew's chances. Obviously, Glenn Johnson came to Chicago to win this fight. It was a nationally televised fight, and now it's Andrew's time. I'm not saying he ended his career, although Glenn retired after the fight. But how happy are you with the response you're getting from the boxing world after this fight about Andrew Fonfara?
I was very, very happy about it. Everybody, hey, you did a great job. But it's a teamwork. Everybody that was involved with Andrew did their part. And that's what makes a great fighter, is teamwork. Everybody knows what the right hand and the left hand is doing. Our sparring was great for that fight. And like I said, now the fights start getting harder and harder because they're coming after us to show that they're the real deal. So we're training for every fight. We're taking it real serious, and we're taking Andrew to another level.
Even before Glenn Johnson fight, there were not people lining up to fight Andrew for obvious reasons. 9 fights as a light heavyweight, 9 KOs. I presume people are not lining up to fight him now. I mean, so getting people to fight a 25-year-old, not even 25-year-old Andrew Fonfara is not the easiest thing in the world.
Well, when you're right. A lot of people first take the fight, and then 3 days later, they look at a tape, or they hear about him, or they go on Google, you know, which is the worst thing that happened to boxing. And they start looking them up, see who he's fought and how he's knocking them out. People are refusing us. But when it comes to the mandatories, they can run, but they can't hide.
Yeah.
So eventually we are going to get that big shot for the big money.
6 days earlier, Mariusz Wach, Polish heavyweight, is fighting Wladimir Kliczko for a bunch of Vladimir's titles. Are you familiar with Wach? I'm sure you saw the guy before.
Believe it or not, back in the day when that whole team came, young Andrew at the time, Gregory, many more fighters from Poland. There were like 7 or 8 of them.
2006?
I think it was 2006. He was one of them. He came with that team. And I really liked the guy. Nice guy, big, tall, very green at the time. You know, but I could see him developing if someone would train him the right way, use his height. He's got tremendous power. I don't know if he's capable of beating a Kliczko, but I know he's going to give him a real fight.
So you knew Mariusz Wach, I think so I'm right saying 2006, I mean when he came here as a fighter, and was the reason why you did not train him, or he came back? Do you remember how this thing happened?
I really don't know. I mean, he was here for the fight. He went back, and then I met up with him another time. He was here shortly. I think he ended up in Jersey for a while. And I don't know if he's in Poland now or where he's at.
No, he's training with the Global Boxing, and
I believe a guy by the name of De Leon is training.
Yeah, exactly.
I know him. I know him very well.
Could you tell us something about style of training of it's a Carlos? No, it's the Juan.
It's his brother. Yeah, Carlos' brother. I used to train Carlos De Leon.
Oh, really?
Yes, I learned many things from Carlos. Yeah, he's a good trainer. You know, I think hey, as long as the two click, you know, that's how you became a good team.
Yeah.
Become a good team by two people clicking, you know, knowing each other's style and being comfortable with that person. You know?
So, Mariusz being a taller than Wladimir fighter should make a difference?
I think it will. I know the Kliczkos are always punching down at their opponents, you know, looking down. Now, they're going to have to start looking up a little bit, or at least eye level almost, because this guy's a big guy. And when you're that big, one punch can change everything. And he's got the power to get a little respect. You know, I see a good fight. Finally, you know, I see a good fight.
Thank you very much with Sam Colonna and the Chicago Boxing Club. Thank you, Sammy.